Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to my channel, Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome back. For those of you that are returning, for those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. I love your support. I appreciate it very, very much. I appreciate everyone's support, actually. If you want to support the channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, or follow my business page over on Facebook. Please leave me a like, a share, a comment, a subscribe. You know the drill. You can also follow me at Engelgeist333 on Instagram if you're interested in having a subscription. Setting up a subscription, you can go to patreon.com and look up Engelgeist, and I am there. You can see the daily forecast a day early. So today is for the forecast for Wednesday, the 20th of May. This is a timeless message, right? So if you're watching this and it's not on the 20th, that's okay. You might be in vibrational alignment to it at the time that you are indeed watching it. So don't shut it off just because the date is wrong. There might be something in here that you need to hear. We've been seeing a lot of double cards this week, which I find is interesting. As I said that, it said 111 on the counter of the timer counter on this video. So I'm definitely paying attention to that. We had that moon card come up twice. We've also had the 3 of Cups come up twice already, just in literally 3 days of forecasting. So let's see what else this week has for us in the midweek. We're supposed to have that underpinning energy of that 3 of Cups card for the midweek. So let's see what's happening now. So we have the 7 of Wands. This is a really interesting card for the Wands. I'm like, what is going on? It's funny, I almost see a face in this card. Like, this looks like 2 eyes to me, and this is almost their nose, and the doorway would be their mouth. Do you guys see that, or am I crazy? I might be crazy, I don't know anymore! Alright, so let me see. Is that water or is that dirt on the ground there? This deck is like working me. Maybe this deck is making me super tired. I don't know. It's all this subconscious, unconscious, mystical May stuff. So the 7 of Wands to me, Wands usually deals with the element of fire and the spirit, and I'm not really clear where this is going with this giant house. To me, this house to me, the minute I flip it over or the minute I looked at it, and first off I see that face there that's sort of hidden in the house. I don't know if you guys see it, but I sort of do. There's also this idea that, to me, I get this idea of higher learning. I get this idea of like this is a school. I get this idea of this maybe being stability for us, about educating ourselves in something, becoming more aware of something, becoming smarter about something, maybe being decisive in a decision. It's sort of what this building is making me feel like. I also feel like when I'm looking at this building, there feels like there's a bit of abundance to this, in the sense that whatever we're doing right now, whatever we're focusing on, we are creating it, and my dog is coughing it up for you. You guys, if you're gonna cough and make a lot of noise, go in the other room. You don't have to be here with me. I can do this on my own. So, to me, when I'm looking at this house, it feels like higher learning. It feels like educating ourselves. It feels like sort of, how do I want to say this? Like going in and doing the work that we need to do to learn what we need to learn so that we can move forward to a place of abundance or stability, right? To a place of sort of, generally 7s are about decisions being made. And so that's kind of also this is like maybe a decision needs to be made for us to solidify whatever it is we're standing on, our foundations, our higher learning, our higher awareness. And this would be higher awareness of situations around us. And the funny thing is even though this is a Wands card, this building is giving me a very material vibe, or a very earthy vibe, in the sense that it makes me feel like we might need to look at where our knowledge comes from. Is it ours in the first place? This might be some of that trickster energy that we were seeing in the coyote. This is the like counterbalance to that. Does that make sense? This building feels very stable to me, very secure. Which, funny enough, 7s are not necessarily always secure based. So it's interesting to me that this building seems so sort of centered, and like grounded or balanced. I feel like if this is sort of the message that I'm gathering from this card, and maybe I'm totally off base with this card, but it's where it's taking my intuition or my mind, is that we need to sort of ground in what we know, and we need to be really sure and clear on what it is that we're teaching ourselves or what it is that we're learning. Because we're always learning, even when we think we're doing nothing, or we think things are staying the same. We're learning how to stay stagnant in those moments, or we're learning how to sort of not induce change, if that makes sense. So we are always learning, and I feel like that's what this card is trying to tell us, to be consciously aware of that, to be like, where are we focusing our attention, what are we learning, how are we assimilating that learning, how are we putting that learning to good use to secure our own stability, our own, to make our own decisions around things. I'm going to just read the Seven of Wands to you just for a second, because I'm interested to know what their definition of this card is. The house of self becomes a palace of unending beauty and possibilities. The innocent has traveled from the naivete of birth along the rivers and roads of time. The journey has been a long one, with many detours and disappointments. Many lessons were learned, and now the innocent has arrived at the road where the goal is in view. The light is at the end of the long, dark night of work. Behind now are the many challenges, the hills and valleys of rears and labor. One has reached the tower of attainment in the garden of abundance. The innocent is weary, tired from the long travail. This is a card of service and sacrifice. The seeker is one devoted to reaching truth, dedicated to the betterment of all, giving freely of themselves. The eyes of intuition are focused upon the mission and do not deviate through the trials that accompany the seeker along the way. So there are eyes up here. Pain and loneliness are often the seeker's only companions, yet the eyes look beyond the physical discomfort. They manifest the selfless spirit into the physical world as creativity flows, filling the waking reality in the service of others. In a reading, it says, a dedicated, selfless person, inner wisdom and sight leading to the manifestation of good deeds on the physical plane. Professional success, a philanthropist, humanitarian, and environmental issues are championed. I do feel like there's a stability to this card, and I feel like there's an education component to this card. Like, we need to ground in what we know and continue to teach ourselves, to continue to sort of farm that, like, sort of wealth of knowledge that is abundant within us. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I'm going to go to the next card. Sorry if this is kind of a little bit off, guys, but let's see what the next card has to say. I also feel like with that Three of Cups underpinning energy too, that adds to the sort of stateliness of this house, the strength, the solidity, the the sort of beauty of this house, the abundance, all of that. Like, if we're running that Three of Cups energy emotionally underneath this, it's allowing ourselves to feel empowered, to feel strong, to feel educated, to feel intelligent, to know what our answers are maybe as they come in the moment. That's the eyes of intuition up in the sky there. It's trusting ourselves more. The Gatherer. Okay, I'm gonna kill the cat. That's it. I'm gonna kill the cat. Okay, so the Gatherer is card number 21, which is a 3. To me, makes me think of the mind-body-spirit connection. The Gatherer here, to me, is a beautiful card. It's very feminine in nature. I feel like this building is actually rather masculine. But when we have this idea of this sort of stately building, sort of our own knowledge, our own education, our own intelligence being sort of harbored, protected, grown, appreciated. The Gatherer is this energy that sort of allows us to continue to sort of gather the pieces of information that we need, the sustenance that we need during this journey, the sort of like preparing ourselves for the long haul. Does that make sense? Like when I look at both of these cards are not temporary. These cards to me feel like much deeper, more settled cards. And when I think about that Three of Cups cauldron and all of the ingredients that we saw yesterday, like this is the gatherer's job, is to continue to gather more ingredients, to continue to like harvest more ideas, thoughts, feelings, emotions that feel better or feel more right or feel more connected, and allow them to add to the strength of this sort of like, to me what I'm seeing is similar like to a college or a schoolhouse, right? This is the schoolhouse of our lives, right? Or where we teach ourselves. And so we gather like sort of our life experiences, our you know, our weaknesses, our strength, all of it, and we bring it here, and we sort of build this beautiful sort of mansion of self. And the gatherer to me feels very intuitive. Like I feel like she knows when and what to grab. It's interesting that we have all of this orange, like the roofs of the house. I feel like this is our intuition. This is maybe the eyes of the intuition up here too, being connected. This is sort of that intuitive guidance going about within us, gathering exactly what it is that we need to make this journey stronger, more solid, more beneficial. Let me read the Gatherer card for you guys. I'm doing this without glasses, which is never a good idea, but oh well. It happens, right? So the Gatherer. Before we cultivated grains, we collected the wild bounty of nature. The Gatherer finds abundant seeds, nuts, berries, and wild greens where the ordinary person sees only barren soil. The Gatherer is the provider, the forager, the gardener who collects roots and vegetables for long winter when the game is scarce. She does not hoard, trusting the bounty around her. The invitation. Look at the resources you already have close at hand. That would be this house, guys. This is a time of abundance. I told you that house represented abundance. Everything around you is ripe and ready for harvest. Banish the notions of scarcity that have limited your choices and colored your destiny. Pack your food for the winter and start with the low-hanging fruit that is all around you. The medicine. Do not wander too far afield in search of what Spirit has already provided. Practice paying it forward, being thankful in advance of receiving. If you are in a scarcity mindset, open your heart to look beyond current conditions, and you will find the bounty being offered to you. Practice sharing, not hoarding. I also feel like this could also be sharing one's own sort of knowledge, awareness, spiritual connection, all of that stuff. Not only with ourselves, but with those around us. And it's interesting too, because that 21 also comes to a 3, which was that 3 of Cups underpinning energy, right? So this idea of sharing is celebration, which is what the 3 of Cups card is known for, which we saw yesterday, but it's also the underpinning midweek energy, and we're at Wednesday. So here's the stone. I don't think we've ever seen this stone, but it is peace, guys. Ground in a sense of peace, ground in the strength and the intelligence that is intrinsically within you. Ground in the intuition, or take like heart in the peace that being aware that you're sort of intuitively gathering exactly what you need when you need it, and you have plenty. You have more than enough to not only have for yourself, but to share with others. And allow that peace to be granted to you. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Alright, so that is your forecast for this Wednesday. It's a little bit different because I think we saw that 3 of Cups early, but this 3 of Cups is like strengthening us, reminding us that we have everything that we need, and whatever we don't, we can intuitively find within ourselves, and that should give us this sense of peace. Thank you so much. Tune in tomorrow. Have a great day. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.